现场，亲爱的来宾朋友们，大家早上好！非常感谢各位来到国际区块链周我们的峰会的现场。那我们请场外的朋友抓紧时间进入到我们的会场当中，我们的峰会即将开始了，请场外的来宾朋友尽快的步入会场，非常感谢。
先就座，非常感谢各位的配合。
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the summit. 大家早上好，欢迎各位来到我们的论坛的现场。同一个世界，同一个愿景，同一个梦想。这里是中国深圳，欢迎各位来到大湾区国际区块链周论坛的现场。感谢各位的光临，我是主持人孙玉修 Emilia， 欢迎各位。One world, one vision, one dream. Welcome everybody. This is the Greater Bay Area International Blockchain Week jointly hosted by Cointelegraph China and Cointelegraph. Welcome to Shenzhen, China, and it is my great pleasure to be here with you for 3 days. I'm your host, Emilia Sun. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. And also, thank all of the guys who are watching us right now from all the corners of the world. Welcome. Thank you so much. 非常的感谢今天能够来到现场跟我们共同进行今天的思考和讨论的各位朋友，非常感谢各位的到来。同时呢，也非常的欢迎和感谢此刻正在全球各地观看我们线上直播的国际友人。那首先呢，还是要特别的感谢大湾区国际区块链周组织和主办方 Cointelegraph 中文以及 Cointelegraph 联合为大家带来为期3天的非常精彩的论坛。那 Cointelegraph 成立于2013年，是区块链行业当中最早成立，也是全球领先的媒体资讯平台，覆盖10个国家及地区的官方语言。在深耕行业多年之后呢，在2019年12月成立了 Cointelegraph 中文，立足华语覆盖区，继续保持及时、客观和真实的报道原则，深耕原创，链接全球。我们也要用掌声来致敬一下我们的主办方。感谢，非常的感谢 Cointelegraph 中文，谢谢你们。那同时呢，也特别感谢我们很友好的合作伙伴，感谢来自 BICC 人人矿场、CWA 以及 DFG 德丰杰投资基金、ConsenSys、BSN 区块链服务网络、红枣科技、小米、Nova 等所有的合作伙伴的大力支持。Thank you so much for great support. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday on the first day of the blockchain week, it was discussed at great length and depth on the topic of blockchain technology, the investment opportunities, and of course, we have to mention the decentralized finance. We also saw the perspectives and some fantastic visions of the world's top brains. Well, today, on the day 2 of the blockchain week, we'll stretch our thoughts and discussions more onto the public chain, trading platforms, the transactions, and we'll share more ideas on the future of public blockchains and the trend of exchanges. So the first speaker today will give us an overseas video call. I don't think I really need to introduce him no more because I believe most of you already know him very much, like much better than I do. So let's give a warm welcome to the co-founder of Ethereum and the founder of ConsenSys, Mr. Zhou Lubin. Zhou Lubin will bring us a discussion on the question of who will lead the next bull run, DeFi versus F 2.0. And at this part, we're also glad to invite one of our guests, Tracy Zhang, to come up to the stage. Where are you, Tracy? Please come join us on the stage. Tracy Zhang is from Cointelegraph China, CBDO. So Tracy Zhang and Lubin will bring us to a brainstorming, right? Okay, please come here. Let's see. I think Lubin's here already. Lubin, can you hear us?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, so I'll leave the stage to you two. Please.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hey, Joe. I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you.
Great. Okay. So please, first of all, say hello to all the community here and the Chinese people, your fans. In early morning to attend this big event with Joe. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you very much for coming.
Applaud to Joe also. I really appreciate your time to be here with us. And let's be very straightforward. And we've got a few questions here for you. And really want to have your voices about the market, okay? So here my first question is, as a co-founder of Ethereum, right? So also as DeFi is a new fashion in the market recently. So how could Ethereum 2.0 be a way for the prosperity and development of DeFi, and is it the only way? So my question, John.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. So It's certainly not the only way for decentralized finance to gain traction, simply because Ethereum 2.0 hasn't been launched yet, and decentralized finance is being built very rapidly and expanding pretty large even now, almost completely on Ethereum 1. It's interesting that the use cases of decentralized finance could be considered low-hanging fruit in the sense that you don't need extremely high numbers of transactions per second in order to get real value from these kinds of applications. So decentralized finance consists of protocols for decentralized exchange, for insurance, for essentially online interest-bearing savings accounts, for derivatives, for equity, for bonds, for synthetic financial instruments. I may have said insurance already, but prediction markets. So all of these elements are realized as protocols, as essentially Lego building block protocols that can be plugged into one another. And pretty much all of them are being developed on Ethereum 1. The reason they're being developed on Ethereum 1 is because if you're going to build applications that hold a tremendous amount of value, you need a very secure foundation. And there are really only two decentralized protocols on the planet right now that are sufficiently secure enough and decentralized enough so that they can be trusted. Those are Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's very difficult to program on Bitcoin compared to Ethereum. As a result, all of the early developers started building on Ethereum. And once you have all the developers building on Ethereum and all the liquidity in terms of the different value tokens on Ethereum, then it pretty much becomes the only game in town. There's no reason to build a DeFi protocol on some other platform, A, because it's not going to be secure enough, and B, because just nobody's there to do the trading. So even other protocols are building bridges to Ethereum, other protocols like Bitcoin, so that they can participate in this new decentralized financial plumbing layer for the planet. When Ethereum 2.0 goes live, which will happen later this year, all of the decentralized finance development that has already been done on Ethereum 1 and will continue to grow tremendously on Ethereum 1 will very smoothly be ported to Ethereum 2. It's probably valuable to, if you don't mind, to take a couple minutes to talk about how the transition from Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2 will proceed. I'll keep it very simple, but essentially it'll be like an operating system where you just upgrade the operating system. Yeah. The first phase of Ethereum 2 happens later this year. Could be November, could be December. And that simply sees a beacon chain, the heartbeat of the new system, being stood up. And you can think of that beacon chain as essentially being a decentralized finance application that's sitting on Ethereum 1. It will be launched from Ethereum 1. It will have yield like DeFi applications, and many thousands of people are eager to stake Ether on Ethereum 1 to effectively be the launch mechanism for Ethereum 2. Relatively soon after, we will add data sharding chains or data availability shards, which will enable layer 2 systems on Ethereum, which are there for scalability, for adding many thousands or tens of thousands of transactions per second on Ethereum. It will enable those layer 2 applications to access the data that they need to operate, and they'll be accessing that data from Ethereum 2. Ethereum 2 will sort of reach back into Ethereum 1 and enable bidirectional transfers, and it will also secure Ethereum 1 much more, enabling much less issuance of Ethereum 2. Finally, in phase 2 of Ethereum 2, we will enable programs to run on Ethereum 2. At that point, Ethereum 1 and all of its applications will be able to be absorbed into Ethereum 2. So even if all these applications, including DeFi applications, are running on Ethereum 1 at that point, they will very smoothly be absorbed into Ethereum 2, and people will just be able to continue using them on Ethereum 2. So if you're a developer, if you're a user, there will be very little to worry about. Your applications will just continue to run. If you're a developer and you want to upgrade to the new capabilities of this new version of Ethereum, then you will be able to add some elements to your application and make it more powerful.
Okay, Zhou. Thank you very much for a very detailed explanation about not only DeFi, but also Ethereum 2.0. Okay, let's go our next question. Here, we all know as Polkadot already announced their mainnet going to launch, right? So Polkadot has inherited a part of Ethereum technology, we all know, right? So potentially, it could surpass Ethereum. I mean, is there any pressure or let's say challenges for Ethereum and how to deal with the upcoming competition? Thank you, Zhou.
So I'm not sure I agree with the premise that Polkadot inherited much from the Ethereum technology. So Ethereum 2 will inherit quite a bit from Ethereum 1 technology. Polkadot took a fresh approach and is building their own architecture, which is similar in some ways to Ethereum 2, but different from Ethereum 2. I would argue that if Ethereum is experiencing any pressure, that pressure is coming from its own success. Ethereum is a massive blockchain cryptocurrency ecosystem compared to any other project in the space other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's, in terms of many different measures, number 2 to Ethereum in terms of total value of the token. It's certainly quite a bit larger than Ethereum, but Ethereum has many more value tokens on top of it. So teams like the people who are building Polkadot and Tezos and Cosmos are doing a nice job in exploring how to build out different approaches to the technology, but they will have an astonishing amount of ground to cover in order to catch up with all of the infrastructure that has been built in the Ethereum ecosystem and all of the developers that exist in the Ethereum ecosystem. It's made even more difficult for other protocols by the fact that pretty much all of decentralized finance is being built on Ethereum. That represents a very powerful magnet, liquidity magnet and developer magnet that will continue to attract all the best and the brightest to build new financial protocols on Ethereum. There really isn't much reason to build on other protocols that aren't really barely in use at this point.
Thank you very much. So my next question, but not least, I'm going to ask you about as the Ethereum, ETH itself been performing perfectly in the market recently, right? So I would ask for DeFi concept and Ethereum 2.0 concept, you think which can lead the next bull run, sorry.
Yeah, so again, it's kind of a confusing question to me because first of all, the next bull run appears to be underway already. We're seeing lots of the tokens in our ecosystem appreciate rapidly in value. The decentralized finance revolution is in full steam. It's growing incredibly quickly. Ethereum 2 is an incredibly promising project, but we don't really even need Ethereum 2 in order for decentralized finance to continue to grow dramatically. Again, there are many applications that just run on layer 1 of Ethereum 1 in the decentralized finance space, and they're fine at the level of scalability of Ethereum 1. And we have many layer 2 protocols either online already or coming online. These are state channels mechanisms. These are layer 2 roll-up mechanisms that are bringing thousands and tens of thousands of transactions to Ethereum 1. And so we have decentralized exchanges that are currently able to process thousands of transactions per second that are online or coming online. I'm wearing a t-shirt for something called Scale Networks Protocol, which is a layer 2 solution on Ethereum that enables people to write just simple Ethereum virtual machine programs and run them at layer 2 with very high scalability and very inexpensively as well. So the next bull run is already here. It's starting on DeFi on Ethereum 1, and it will continue on Ethereum 2 just because the transition will be very smooth for both, for any application on Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2.
Okay, all right, awesome. So happy to have your voices here, and thank you for sharing with us. But at the end, we also collect a few questions from community, and I really would like to ask the audience who really have questions for Zhou Lubin so that you can have a close conversation with Zhou. Anyone raise your hand? Let me see. Okay. So he's the first one to raise a hand, please. Welcome, Kevin Yuan. Oh, be on the stage. Yeah, the microphone. Please be here. This here. Please be here, because the camera is just over there. Yeah, it works. Hey, Joe.
Hi.
Hello, Lubin. Hi, how are you? I'm Kevin. Yeah, I'm from ConsenSys Lab, which is a Chinese crypto institution. Yeah, so we founded on 2017. Yeah, so our base is our fund base is Ethereum also. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question actually because we are very interested in Ethereum 2, ETH2. So actually, there's a lot of developers have different opinions about when it will be launched, actually. So like Justin Draker is saying that it won't be launched until earlier 2021. But however, it looks like Vitalik is have more positive opinions. So I'd like to ask you, like, what do you think when it will be launched? And yeah. So we are very looking forward to it.
Thank you for the question, Kevin. ConsenSys Labs is a great name. We have our own ConsenSys Labs.
Thank you.
So Justin Drake is a very conservative individual, and that's a great characteristic in his role. Vitalik's actually quite conservative as well. We are currently running a new testnet. We believe that it will be the final testnet before launch of mainnet. We expect that it will run for at least 2 or 3 months. There are currently 5 software clients running on that Medalla testnet network, and there are, I think, around 20,000 validators already on the network. So that's 20,000 different software clients of different classes, of the 5 different classes of client that are running on the network. So things are really getting close to readiness. There's something called a deposit launch pad that was developed both by the Ethereum Foundation and our Codify group at ConsenSys. It's currently out. It is designed to help onboard validators to encourage participation on Ethereum 2. And remember, Ethereum Phase 2 is basically a decentralized finance app on Ethereum 1. So there will be significant yield depending on how many validators there are on the network. And so a lot of interest in achieving yields by helping the Ethereum 2 network launch itself. It's important to note that the Ethereum Foundation and client development teams that are not directly associated with or paid by the Ethereum Foundation have always been readiness driven rather than timetable or calendar driven. So when the software is ready, based on very well-defined criteria, that will be the right time to launch mainnet. That said, leadership on our own, on ConsenSys' Ethereum 2 team, and we have several teams at ConsenSys that are working on Ethereum 2, are currently convinced that it will indeed launch this year. And some of the leadership on that team have staked their own money, are betting on it launching in 2020. So I'm also of the opinion, I'm very optimistic that based on what we saw for the Ethereum 1 launch and based on the maturity of some of the clients, there's some really high quality software that's been written and many different ways of measuring whether it will be ready, and it's looking really positive for a 2020 launch.
Wow, that's great. I think that's great. Yeah, hope it will go very smooth. Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to be one of the validators as well. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lubin.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you,
Kevin. Thank you. So we still got time, about 1 minute something. So, okay, let's invite another guest here for a question. Wait. Hey, thank you.
Hello. So my question is about decentralization and proof of stake. I've noticed that basically there are some other coins, other chains that have proof of stake, and basically what happens is that some centralized exchange are kind of taking over the voting power, the staking power. They just stake by themselves basically. So aren't you afraid that Ethereum 2 will be centralized at some point due to those centralized exchanges?
So that's a really thoughtful and sophisticated question. Okay. First of all, proof of stake has the potential to be much less decentralized than proof of work. The barrier to entry for many people becoming validators is much lower in proof of stake. You don't have to buy a lot of complicated, expensive hardware and pay a lot for electricity. You simply create a security bond by staking some Ether. And it's much fairer because there aren't really efficiencies of scale. So if you have 10,000 proof of work miners in a warehouse, you have a lot of efficiencies over somebody who has one miner in their basement. That's not the case at all in proof of stake, and so there will be much greater decentralization versus proof of work. But your point with respect to exchanges is a good one, and the Ethereum 2 proof of stake algorithm essentially punishes anybody who makes a mistake, and it's only a small punishment if a small percentage of the validators make that mistake. But if a very large set of validators, as if, say, a major exchange is running lots of validators, if they make a mistake, the punishment gets quite severe. So there is incentive to have many different kinds of validators running many different kinds of technologies, using many different kinds of power systems in many different countries. It is designed to be decentralized in that way, or to reward decentralization. Even that is not sufficient. So there is currently a group, partly within ConsenSys and partly in the ecosystem, that are working to build out a secret shared mechanism so that validators can take more individual control over their validation activities and not rely on large exchanges. This is an issue. It's not going to be a big issue early on, and it's something that smart people who care will work hard to
Okay,
make
Zhou.
better.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
sharing. So we are running out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. So let's say hello to John, and thank you, Joe, again, and let's finish this session.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Have a nice
everybody.
day. Have a nice day. Really appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Tracy. 因为呢 ，Tracy 是我们主办方的代表哈。今天呢，在我们今天的第一个环节，也跟这个我们海外的一个非常重磅的嘉宾进行了线上的连线。所以在这儿呢，真的很感谢能够我们给这么多关心区块链行业，在区块链行业当中不断的在努力奉献力量的朋友们一个这么好的机会，相聚在一块儿哈。
好呀，我这个突然被主持人拦住，其实有点不知所措。但如果真的，我能说2句吗？就是我说4个词啊，特别想说 Hello 深圳 ，Hello blockchain，Hello crypto，and Hello Bitcoin。
是准备了的，我看到，蛮好的。
谢谢你，谢谢你，谢谢大家哈！我希望大家在这几天能够有很多的收获，对个人的成长也好，对公司的帮助也好，我觉得未来可期，大家加油！
好，谢谢 Tracy。其实呢，
谢谢
刚刚我有在看那个直播的弹幕啊，大家也都非常的积极的在评论，然后有说我们那个 Joe Rogan 长得很像 Jason Stanton，杰森斯坦森，有没有刚才那个 Joe 这位嘉宾很像？所以真的是顶级的，在国际区块链上面在做出了很多优质的这样的工作的人士。那么接下来的这一位，我要跟大家好好的介绍一下。谢谢 Tracy，Thank you。那么接下来的这一位呢，我相信只要是在区块链行业当中有这么一点点见识的朋友，一定都会听过他的名字。那我其实也不知道该怎么样去形容他，但是呢，我搜索到了一段对他非常好的一个总结，可以跟大家分享一下。他呢是国际顶级的一个交易平台的创始人。那他曾经在6个月的时间就达到了120亿的身家。他带领的交易平台呢，在推出42天之后就达到了交易量的排名前10位，92天之后达到了前5位，156天之后达到了前3位，在第165天的时候达到了全球第1，也交出了非常好的一份成绩。那大家应该都知道我在讲的是谁了。Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so our next speaker, I really don't think he needs more introductions because he's already the leading public figure in blockchain industry by founding this world's top exchange and also by uploading its great reputation. I mean, if you're in this blockchain industry and you must know the name of Zhao Changpeng, or you must know the exchange named Binance. And if you ever done any cryptos exchanges, you must have used their services. Well, today he will talk about the exchange's ecosystem strategy. Let's give a warm welcome to the founder of Binance, Mr. Zhao Changpeng.
今年7月，然后币安也迎来了第3周年的生日。然后作为国际公认的第一线交易平台，币安的发展肯定离不开团队的战略布局跟抓住时间机遇的那个能力跟超强的执行力。所以你能分享一下这币安目前的生态系统是什么样的布局吗？然后未来的目标是什么？
好的呀，那个其实我们生态其实非常简单。稍微等一下，我这边有OK， 稍微等一下，这边设置上有一点点不对，我调整一下。所以币安生态圈的话，是我们从一个币交易所开始，我们从最开始的时候，其实并没有想说一定要做一个生态圈，我们只是说我们有哪些业务自己做的比较好，可以把我们的比较好的一些业务提供给我们的用户。所以我们就不断的在用户的要求下，我们来扩展这个平台。所以我们现在其实有币安交易所的加密交易货币的那个交易平台，有币安慈善，有币安合约，币安去中心化交易平台等等。其实他们这些都已经是在比较独立的发展。然后所以我觉得就是对我们来说，我们并没有说一个很宏大的目标，我们只是想说把产品做到让用户觉得好用，就可以了。然后经常会有用户说，哎，那你为什么不做这个？为什么不做那个？ 如果有用户这么说的时候呢，我们就会去做这些事情。
OK， 那之后的目标是什么？之后对生态系统的发展布局会更加扩展吗？还是说，走一步看一步？
其实应该是主要是走一步看一步的，但是走一步看一步的同时呢，它应该会有些扩展性，因为第一是团队内部或者是团队外，我们用户会经常会说，哎，你们为什么不做这个？我们会想想看，哎，说不定做这个挺好，那我们会看看我们自己有没有能力做，然后做出来这个东西会不会有人用。然后有些时候我们团队内部也会这样子，也会说，哎，我某个人举手说我想做某一个产品，那我们听一下之后发现，哎，这个产品应该也会有人用。那所以就应该是有这种扩展，但是我们并不是一个很有规划的说从 top down 说我来设计说我们要扩展哪几块，我们更多是比较动态跟那个叫什么 organic 就是自由野蛮生长的这种扩展方式，所以很多东西不是计划的，很多东西都是偶然的。
所以很有创新能力的这些人，如果想要找机会加入像您这样的团队的话，肯定必然应该作为一个首选吧。
我们非常欢迎，非常欢迎。我们最近也在非常大力的招聘，然后我们应该是第一是给的自由度比较高，第二是我觉得既然我们是在一个去中心化交易所的去中心化的行业里面，我们尽量不用 top down 的中央化的管理方式去管理，所以我们虽然不是一个完全去中心化的组织，但是比传统的应该是比传统的所有的公司来讲，我们都应该更去中心化。
OK， 上一次在2年前，在首尔的时候，我记得有跟你们聊过，就是币安要做去中心化的一个交易所，然后你们也在做，最近去中心化的交易所发展的怎么样了？
其实我们现在去中心化交易所发展也还是不错，然后我们其实我们从去中心化交易所大概从19年初 launch， 大概1年多以前吧。launch 之后，其实一直就排名非常靠前，曾经有几度就是一直是在应该是第1名的这交易量。最近呢，其实反而被 DeFi 里面的一些创新反超过去了，所以我们最近也在看这个东西，然后有可能也要向别人学习，再去抄别人的作业，然后所以但整体来讲，我觉得现在整个 DEX 整个行业发展的是非常好的，而且有很多很创新的主意，当然大家也要注意啊，这些创新的东西里面也有很多高风险的地方。所以，但是我觉得总体来说 ，DEX 最近一段时间发展的是非常快的。然后我们自己的 DEX 我们也在看，然后看看怎么样再把它做得更好。
上一次我记得是1、2周前，你在那个币安的那个 post 里面有提到，就是你的一个投资的一个理念，然后看项目的一些方式，你可以现场给我们分享一下吗？
好，其实我看项目的方式很简单的，我觉得最简单的方式就是看用户量。如果一个项目有用户的话，这个就非常容易判断了。但是多数来说呢，有用户量的那个项目呢，一般都是在已经是比较晚，就是已经比较成熟一点了，就是它产品已经出来了，然后用户也喜欢等等。然后，所以在多数的情况下呢，就是如果是没有早期的项目，我其实一般看的不多。我们有一个专门的投资团队，然后他们看项目看的比较多。我对看早期项目真的不是特别在行，所以很多人见到我的时候就会扑上来说，哎 ，CZ 我有这样一个项目多好多牛逼，然后另外说我有这个项目多牛逼，但是若是我一般就是一个问题，你有多少用户？然后如果你在发展的时间很短，你可以在很短时间之内有很多用户的话，那就是这个项目就很厉害。然后如果是没有很多用户的话，那这个项目就可能不是那么厉害。所以我一般判断的还是用大众去判断，所以我一般自己不太做这种特别深的判断。当然，我们的投资团队呢，他们会看那个项目团队、项目投资人、项目的产品概念等等，他们会看的比较细一点。但是我觉得我的理念一直是看的这些细的东西也都不太准。最准的就是看用户量。
就
这块就是你可以有单一的产品，但是你要有用户，就是你要有一群用户在用这个东西。你的产品的功能可以很简单，但是那个你要有用户，所以就是有很多人建很多很 fancy 的产品，但是没有人用，这个就不行。 所以就是只要有人用，只要一个东西有人用，它就有价值。
OK，那我们聊一下公链哈。公链是区块链世界底层基础设施，然后只有公链稳定高效的运行的话，然后区块链才能够更好的应用落地。那2020年我们看有以太坊2.0，然后波场4.0跟波开的项目，就大家都还是比较期待的。那您是怎么看待公链的底层基础设施的价值跟作用，跟以及未来公链生态的发展前景？
我觉得公链还是非常重要的，就是呢，公链是区块链行业的最基础的、最基本的基础架构。所以我觉得就是我的看法是这样，我也其实说过好多次，就是我判断未来应该有几百万个币，但是可能有几千条链。不是每个币都需要链的，因为有很多币是可以以代币的方式、token 的方式发的。但是区块链还是有我相信还是有很多不同，我还是会有很多不同的区块链。区块链我们现在看的比较流行的几个区块链，其实都是有一定的性能瓶颈的，就包括说比特币、以太坊，这两个是性能瓶颈非常明显的，这两个也是用的人相对来说比较多一点的。然后在有性能瓶颈的这些链上面做真正的应用是没法做的，就是你真的要说做一个像聊天工具，但是每天发上亿的那个信息量。你这个如果说这个链的那个性能不好的话，是没法承载这种量的。所以现在去中心化的链上，我觉得就是性能上还是有很多缺陷。然后我觉得未来的话，就是在短期之内解决这个性能问题的，就是有这种专攻的链。这条链是专门聊天的，这条链是专门付款的，这条链是专门玩游戏的，这条链是专门做什么东西的。所以就是那像币安链是专门做去中心化交易所的，很快。然后所以我觉得未来还是会有很多就是专攻的链，叫 specialized chain， 然后所以我觉得会有上百到上千个链，但我觉得这些链的在行业里面起到的作用还是非常重要的，要有了这些链之后才能有真正去中心化的这些应用，所以有些链呢是比较像 Ethereum， 就是它是比较 general purpose， 就是比较通用的，它是说你在上面做什么都行，它的智能合约非常灵活。但是它的性能不高，所以就现在你看，就是现在有几个稍微火一点的 DeFi， 然后现在以太坊上转账就比2个月之前贵很多了，现在转一笔账大概要30-40块美元，大概20-30块人民币，不一定比人银行转账便宜了。所以就是这些性能瓶颈呢也会暴露出来，目前我们行业还是在一个非常早期，技术上还是有很多进步的空间，所以我觉得未来发展的空间的想象力还非常大。
OK， 那刚才聊到了币安链，币安链最近也在推出一个并行链，叫做币安智能链，然后来扩展币安链的功能。您刚刚说币安链是专门为了 decentralized exchange 交易所来做的，去中心化的交易所来做的。那您能就是跟我们讲一下币安链跟币安智能链在币安生态当中占据什么样的价值地位，以及对整个生态的影响是什么呢？
好吧，那个所以币安链本来是说做一个性能非常快的转账非常快，然后它是1秒钟就可以确认，而且一个确认之后就是不会再改变了，就是 final 的。所以币安链当时是为了做一个非常高效的链，然后另外是币安链上有一个去中心化交易所，效率也非常高，然后这样的话可以让别人非常容易的去用。另外是在币安链上面的发币非常简单，就是你要发币的话，你连代码都不用写，你用滑鼠点几个键就可以付一点费用就可以发一个币出来，发完币之后就很容易也很容易在去中心化交易所上上币也非常容易，所以最开始的设想是范围比较窄的，然后效率非常高，然后所以这个当时是以这个目标来做的。然后上了这个之后呢，其实交易量一度是好多，其实蛮多个月都是在去中心化交易所里面排名第1的。然后但是也有很多用户说，我还是有东西需要智能合约，就是你这个链我只发一个非常傻的币，这个币上一点那个智能合约的功能都没有的话，还是有受限。然后那我们说那就好吧，那就我们再加一个智能合约的功能。那我们想说可以加在链上直接加。如果直接加的话呢，就会使币安链变慢。那我们就说我们做一个币安智能链，就专门做 smart contract 的一个链。所以就是这个，然后这个链我们做的是跟以太坊的智能合约是互融的。 就是以太坊上的智能合约的 Solidity 的那个代码可以直接复制过来放到上面，就是一模一样的一个智能合约就可以用。所以这块的话，就是主要是让做智能合约的这些开发者可以在我们这个链上也去发他们的智能合约。然后像现在做比较火的一些像什么去中心化交易所，像 Uniswap 等等，它那个智能合约从以太坊上直接复制过来就可以用。所以币安的智能链大概在8月底会出来。然后就这个月底了，然后希望出来的时候大家可以去尝试一下。我们相信希望能够刚好赶上这个 DeFi 的这一波比较热的行情的的情况，所以希望能够顺着这一波一起发展。
说到 DeFi， 有很多圈内的人就会聊到说，以后可能大家都不会用中心化的交易所，可能大家都会用到的是去中心化的这些 DeFi、Uniswap 之类的pool。然后那对于币安，像你现在也有中心化的交易所，那针对这样子的一个trend， 你们是怎么样对待，是怎么样看待的？然后有什么样子的想法吗？就是怎么样？
我觉得未来一切都有可能。就是也非常有可能说，在未来的某一天，去中心化交易所的交易量比中央化的交易所的交易量大。但我觉得这个短期之内还是有点难度的。去中心化的交易所，像现在的一些比较火的一些交易方式，这 Uniswap 等等，他们是对他们这个模式对一些币价不会太脱离的币会比较好用，特别像 Stablecoin 之间交易。然后对这种单边行情的话，其实那个做市用户是赔钱，就做市商的用户、抵押币的用户是赔钱的。然后而且未来很长一段时间，我觉得比特币对如果法币的话，应该是有会是长期来讲是一个单边行情的。所以就是这块然后另外呢，就是在这些地方的他们的一些创新也会被中央化的交易所反过来复制。所以就是我们也会反过来抄去中央化的交易所的一些创新。所以我们不管是从去中心化交易所还是中心化交易所，可能都会做一些抄别人功课，因为别人有发明的比较好，我们也要认。然后所以就是我相信这些东西一个地方有发明之后，另外一个地方也会去学习。所以它不一定中央化的交易所的现在的用户体验跟用户的易用度还是非常高的。如果是现在是去中心化交易所的交易量慢慢变高了一些，但是比中央化的交易所还是差很远的。然后另外呢是，其实说实在，他们的用户量并不多，因为去中心化交易所的用户门槛比较高，现在90%以上的人应该没有能力安全的保管自己的私钥，就多数的人大街上，特别是我们现在行业还很小，如果再扩展10倍，把老百姓把大众全部拉进来的时候，在大街上你拉100个人里面，可能有98个人不知道没法自己安全的保管私钥。那这些人是目前这个阶段是没法用去中心化交易所的，就是至少没法安全的用，他们是非常容易丢币的。然后所以就是这里面还是有很多难点。但我觉得去中心化交易所我们现在看到的 Uniswap、Yield Farming 等等这些里面已经有一些非常不错的创新，我觉得我们整个行业都帮我们整个行业推了一步。那我们该学习的地方我们也会去学习。
OK, cool. 最后问到的就是说，给刚才提到的这些大众还没有进来的这些人，可能也不太了解区块链这个行业的这些人，我们去普及这个区块链的时候，您会怎么样跟他们介绍什么是区块链？然后如果要推荐一个区块链的应用的话，让他去瞬间感觉区块链的价值跟魅力，您会推荐什么？
我其实试过很多方法，到最后我发现最简单的方法是直接给他们币。就是就是我一般有几个建议，一个是说让他们自己去网上学习一下，我跟他们解释时间成本也非常高，而且我解释的也不一定专业。我一般会建议所有人在网上自己去学习，因为现在的网上的教材已经非常多了。币安也有一个 Binance Academy， 就币安学院的教材，专门所有的免费的网站上面有很多内容。然后另外呢，我觉得这东西需要直接上手去用，所以我一般会说，你给我一个比特币地址，或者你给我一个币安币的地址，我转大概1000块人民币等值的币给你。然后他用了之后，他就会有这个感觉，他就知道说，这个钱包怎么操作的，什么是收币地址，什么是 memo，什么是 TXID，就这些东西他们就会去深一步的了解，而且他用过之后就有这个体验了，就是这个比你刚才解释要好很多。所以我一般就会说你用一下，要不然我给你钱，要不然你给我钱。 然后我一般会建议说，初学者不要放太多钱数字货币里面，不要纯粹的去炒币，炒币你如果不是传统的交易员，炒币不一定会赚钱。然后就是还是要了解这个技术的话，了解这个技术最简单的方式就是直接去使用，所以就是我一般会建议大家非常先小额的去使用，小额使用过了之后，觉得这个东西如果好的话，那么再多花点时间了解所有的安全意识，所有的安全教育，这样你能够更安全的。如果你能够安全的拿自己的钱包也可以。你如果其实你用中央化的交易所也是有一些安全常识需要遵守的，所以就是这块大家安全的意志一定要强。
那您是怎么样接触到区块链的？就刚开始的时候是有人推荐给你，还是你直接也是拿了币，然后进入了这个行业？
我当时是别人推荐给我的，就当时是 Bobby Lee，是比特币中国的那个，当时他是正要加入比特币中国作为 CEO，当时他跟杨林科跟黄小宇可能是刚好有个约定，然后说他加入他们团队，然后同时当时是在打牌。然后当时Bobby Lee 跟曹大荣都在，曹大荣是光速的那个Managing Director MD， 然后到最后曹大荣刚好正在要投比特币中国，到最后他投了500万美元，大概是14年的什么时候，然后所以是在这个牌桌上认识的，然后是在这个牌桌上了解的。其实我当时认识 Bobby Lee 跟认识 Ron 都好几年了，然后他们非常认真的跟我说 CZ 你应该去了解一下这个东西叫 Bitcoin。然后你差不多应该Bobby 跟我说，他建议我放10%的财富放进去，他说有一些机会会变成0，然后但是有更大的机会会10倍，如果10倍的话，那我的那叫什么身价就 double，然后我说哇，这东西他说的非常认真，不是一个开玩笑的东西，所以我就去花了时间了解了一下，那个大概是13年中的时候，13年夏天。然后到13年底的时候，我就辞职了，然后卖房买币，然后再开始在区块链行业找工作，所以基本上是这么入行的。
哇哦。
但是我一般不太建议别人以这个方式入行。我当时的想法是这样，就是每个人的风险是不一样的。我当时想说，就算这东西归0，我还是可以去找份工作。我的生活本来也不是那么豪华，然后但是也不是这么差，所以我的生活质量不会被影响。然后所以我的抗风险能力是比较强的，然后所以每个人的抗风险能力不太一样。有些人是说投了几万块钱，但是如果赔了就已经要跳楼了，那这种情况下没有必要拿着几万块钱去玩，那可能应该花几百块或几千块去玩。所以就是每个人的风险不太一样，所以大家一定要了解自己的风险再去碰这个东西。
所以放10%在这个 coins 里面就好了。
10%，刚开始10%都挺多的。刚开始我觉得花几千块钱、几百块钱先试试看，当学会了怎么操作之后，然后再去考虑说是不是要用一个百分比去投资。
OK，cool，nothing to lose。
就是这个投资的话一定要输得起。
对。感谢你跟我们的分享。我的提问的问题全部都已经提完了，然后谢谢您的分享。
好，谢谢你邀请我们，然后对，我们有机会再聊。
好，下次
谢谢大家
再邀请你们。好，谢谢，
拜
拜。
现在是广告影响，不太影响的话，需要这样说是吧？
我们要对着1号镜头，就是你要跟我互动的时候，然后多一点看我，咱们要多一些互动。然后平常的话就是你等我问你问题这样，然后你说话的时候就看一下这个，看一下我呗，反正我们多点眼神交流呗。Eye contact。 Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cointelegraph YouTube channel. Today, I'm very happy to be here with Huobi Ciara. So before our interview, let Ciara do a short intro of herself and what Huobi Global and Huobi Group is doing. Ciara, your turn.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Ciara Sun. I'm the Vice President of Global Business at Huobi Group. And before joining crypto, I do management consulting at Boston Consulting Group, advising banking and capital markets in the financial service industry. So with a more traditional finance background, hopefully I can add more insights to this interview.
Thank you, Ciara. Very happy to have you here and really appreciate your time. Let's be very straightforward. I've collected a few questions here for you. Yeah, sure. My first question here actually is about recent news on Huobi. So it's about its expansion in Japan market, really. And I really want to know what's Huobi's global vision and the plan for the other parts of the world in the near future.
Sure. Yeah. So what we did in Japan really enclosed what we want to do globally. So it's summarized to be two parts. Our main considerations for global expansion. Okay. So first is regulatory and compliance. And second is adding great services to what those local communities are asking for. It's localization. So speaking of localization is not really just doing exchange in local language. Because as we all know, local communities and users, they have different habits, they ask for different things, they have different requirements. Right. So we really want to provide tailored experiences and tailored products to those local countries. Okay. And in terms of regulatory and compliance, I think that's very important. Whatever country we go to, we want to do things at a fully compliant way. So for example, in terms of fiat gateway, we currently offer a dozen of different fiat gateway in different countries.
Awesome.
So like in Japan, in Indonesia, Euro pounds, and we just launched our USD fiat gateway like just within 24 hours. That's like really fresh. Wow. And what we are doing in Japan is something that we really want to carry on. We currently have the FSA license in Japan, and our platform token, native token HT, is accepted in Japan as a fully regulated cryptocurrency.
Wow, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
that's
so Japanese users can now purchase HT with Japanese yen. So we're really excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. So my next question here is, does Huobi also have any operations in China, and how you deal with the regulations or governance here?
Yeah. So as we all know, regulations for cryptocurrency in China is very strict. Since we launched 7 years ago, we're like kind of ancient already in the crypto space. Yeah, and we've been doing well since launching and quickly become #1 as a leading exchange in China until 2017, September 4th. That's where the Chinese government said, they came up with regulations and rules for cryptocurrency running in China, and that's where we decided to move all of our operations for cryptocurrency and exchange-related business all overseas. And we established this new entity called Huobi China in 2018. Yeah, and that's all based in China, but it does everything related to blockchain, not cryptocurrency. So there are really two arms underneath it. So first is the R&D arm. It's called Huobi Research, and we provide, like kind of consulting, advisory services, and research, all that to traditional business. And we have Huobi University, that's the education arm, and that's very important to us as well, that we can really provide manpower in the ecosystem.
Okay, sounds cool. But you just mentioned about Huobi University and Huobi Labs, right? Could you just elaborate a little more about Huobi Labs, Huobi Research, and Huobi University so that people can understand what they are doing?
Yeah. So as I just said, Huobi Research is the R&D arm of what we're doing for blockchain-related business in China. We provide technology solutions and consulting services to traditional business so that we can we can act as a bridge between traditional business to blockchain. And as Huobi University, that's where we do educational services, like after the president endorsed blockchain industry last October, where we got so excited, about the future of our industry in China, and he encouraged everyone to learn about blockchain, and it is such a new technology. A lot of people, they hear the word and they're like, oh, what is it? So Huobi University really just aligned with this national strategy. We provide courses relating blockchain knowledge and all that. So we provide educational courses and case studies to traditional business leads to help them learn about blockchain, and so that we can provide more talents and manpower to the ecosystem, so that we can have a more rich and great environment in China for us to do blockchain.
Okay, great. And also wondering if Huobi has any department that can incubate different, startup blockchain projects.
Yeah, that's a great question. Right on time, actually. So we launched our DeFi Labs.
DeFi Labs, okay.
Yeah,
here is the highlight, DeFi Labs.
DeFi Labs, just very recently. And what DeFi Labs is doing is that they look for, best projects with good potential, and they help incubating, they do investing, and potentially get listed on our Huobi Global and other exchanges under Huobi Group.
That's awesome. Yeah. DeFi Labs, and it's issued by Huobi Group, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So my following question is, we talk about, like a DCEP, like in China we talk, right? Also, people say this CBDC, right? So, what's China's CBDC impact on the crypto market? If you can, from your perspective, to talk a little bit more on this.
Yeah. So I can only speak from my personal thoughts on this topic, but I think the DCEP project is actually a really good initiative. It shows that future payments we're going to be blockchain based. The blockchain technology itself is just very good and natural for payments and for currency, where it can be more broadly accepted. And I think all of the other governments will be really running at their own pace on this. And, like when we see Facebook's doing Libra and all that, it's going to still take a while, but I think it's definitely on the great direction for us to see in the future.
Okay, so my following question is about the institutional investors. I've heard lots of your speech talking about this, so I really want to know what's Huobi's plan to collaborate with those institutional investors, to influence them to play in our market. So your perspectives?
Yeah, so well, as we know, institutional investors are definitely very, very important for our industry. That's we can really see, mass adoption and more liquidity and volume happening in the cryptocurrency space. So because we see that and we can see the trends that traditional institutions are actually coming into the market, we decided to put this as one of our top strategies for Huobi Group, that we formed this new business line called Institutional Business Unit in the beginning of 2019. And that has been a very successful strategy. Just to give you some number and data. From the beginning of 2019, institutional trading volume made up to about 16-17% of total trading volume on Huobi Global. And as of now, it make up to almost 50% total trading volume on Huobi Global. So we're definitely seeing more traditional institutions are coming into the market. And because they are institutional players and they're more professional, they seek for more professional products, they have higher standards, and they have very high risk control procedures in place. And they seek for regulations and compliance. They just want to know that you are a very trustworthy and leading exchange in the business. So that's why we've been, tailoring our products, and we have a special team from traditional finance backgrounds with tens and years of experience to build products specially tailored for them. We recently launched Huobi Brokerage, actually in Davos. in the January 17th.
Announced today's plan.
Yeah, and we are doing asset management services to those investors. So we really just want to, first for brokerage product is providing chances for them to put in their fiat and get cryptocurrency. And after they get cryptocurrency, besides trading, we want to add more diversity to their experience. We then roll out asset management and also providing more professional products like derivatives.
Yeah, I see. Yep. So pretty much helpful with your background, right? You used to have like a substance professional traditional finance experience, right? So now bring those to this crypto world, but like with lots of, you're basically trading different things, right? So in the traditional, it's fiat, right, related. And now here in the crypto, it's just, crypto assets. Yeah. But just different products, same thing, right? So you could give them lots of experiences from your working experience, right?
Well, I guess I can,
you can talk a whole day, right? Talk about this.
Lucky enough to have a traditional finance background, I can speak kind of the same language to them, and because of that, I can more like understand their needs and tailor more, I guess, better services to accommodate with your requirements.
Yeah. Our market, in crypto world, we need a very much those very professional people used to work in the traditional finance now coming into our market, right? We need lots of professional guys here. So
talents.
Yeah,
we're always seeking for talents and recruiting.
Okay, say something about the Huobi recruiting.
Yeah, we're hiring, so.
Okay, please contact Ciara after this interview. Send her a CV with mail address here, right, below.
Find me on Twitter. So
okay. Oh, your Twitter name is Ciara
Huobi.
Ciara Huobi. Find her on Twitter.
Thank you.
Okay, my next question is like earlier this year, Huobi also announced a partnership with real estate company in UAE, right? So for this part, how does it work? And is there any similar plans in the future in other regions for Huobi to expand?
Yeah, so we offer fan properties with options for accepting payments as of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and some other stable coins. We think it's very important for cryptocurrencies to have more massive adoption. So payment is actually a very, very good way. So that's why we're still putting in more efforts, and we really believe that cryptocurrency is going to be more adapted and be actually used as more user case scenarios rather than just trading itself. And we think as a leading exchange, Huobi have the responsibility, and we really wish to be part of this to push forward with cryptocurrency use cases.
Great. Very happy to hear like a big company taking the real responsibility to revolutionize or influence the market. This is very, very important, right? So yeah. Okay. So my next question, but not least, I want to ask you. You also talk a lot about the future, right? Like derivatives with your background experiences. So tell us some big plans of Huobi future, because first of all, Huobi future already listed number one volume or liquidity on CoinMarketCap. And what's the next big step or steps? Tell us more about Huobi Futures.
Yeah, well, we're really proud of what Huobi Futures has accomplished since its launch about only like a year and a half. After we roll out Huobi Future product, it took us, like within a year, we beat all of our top competitors and became number one in the market.
Okay.
And we launched our perpetual swap in spring this year, and quickly it also beat our most respected competitor BMax in the market and become number one, as you just said, in trading volume for perpetual swaps. And as we were speaking, you know, we see institutions and more professional players coming into the market, and they seek for more professional products. And we are rolling out our options pretty soon, actually within a month or so. So we are really aiming to provide a more, you know, comprehensive and full set of services and products to our users in terms of futures trading.
Okay, great. So I also really curious for I mean, as number one leading player in the market, you feel any pressure or challenge still? I mean, how you deal with those pressure or competition? I mean, you don't know. I mean, crypto world is it's changing every day, right? So your company could be surpassed. You know, you don't know. Maybe the next day, right? So how you deal with? I mean, by building team or do lots of different things. You can, I mean, talk a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, I think everyone in the industry is kind of, you know, stressful, as you know, cryptocurrency itself is 24/7, so we are always working, like we're constantly working. And as you said, you know, even as a leading player in the market back in, you know, say 2016, we're definitely top one. And but just with, you know, one change of rules, cryptocurrency regulations in China, we had to move overseas, and it really impacts our business model and impacts our business. And anything can happen, right? And a lot of innovative people are in the market, and they constantly come up with new services and new products, and we see competitors coming into the market all the time. But what we can do is that first, like you said, we have a great team. We have about 1,500 talents.
Wow, 1,500.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big team
around the globe, and that's what we're made of. And we all have the same kind of value, and we share the same vision. We always put our customers first. We listen to our community says, and I think most importantly, it's just to stick with what you believe in. For example, we believe in security and trustworthy. We want to be the most trusted exchange in the world to our customers. So that's how we roll out our strategy. First, security, security, security. We are very happy to say that we never had a huge and big kind of security breach in the history of Huobi, and that's how you keep your customers' funds safe. And also, we want to do fully compliance and regulated in every market we go to, and we always put risk control as top of our strategy for Huobi futures. All that services and all that, you know, kind of values that we share, we want to always keep that in mind, no matter where we go and what kind of services we expand in the future. And I think that's how we do it and deal with stress, and also, you know, just and just
great. I mean,
and talk to more people, talk to you guys, attend.
I mean, let's do a conclusion, right? So far, so what Ciara been talking like in 20 minutes. In general, I could say, feel free to trade. Feel free, safe and secure to trade on Huobi. Right?
Nice way to sum it up.
That's a good conclusion, right? Okay. Thank you very much, Ciara, for attending our event here. I appreciate your time and hope talk to you soon in the future. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Tracy.
Thanks for attending Cointelegraph China panel here. I'm very happy to have you here on site to share a little bit of what Bybit is doing right now, and also share your thoughts with the market. So before our conversation, please do a short intro of yourself and about Bybit.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's my honor to be on this show, and you know, I've been talking with Cointelegraph for many times, so I'm an old guest, I guess.
Yeah.
My name is Ben. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Bybit. We are a crypto derivative exchange. Yeah. So glad to be here.
Okay. we've known, like, I've heard a lot about what Bybit currently been achieved in the market, and I'm very curious with a few questions, and I really want to have your voices. So my first question is, Bybit added the USDT contract type to the platform this year and has signaled its intention to introduce more trading pairs focusing on linear contracts. My question is why? And it's the first thing. And then as the competition between the exchanges continue to heat up, so where do you see as the next frontier in the derivative world? I want to have your voice.
Oh yeah, very good question. So we launched the USDT contract, the linear contract in, I guess, first quarter this year. It was more of a demand from our clients that we do have a quite significant Asian user base. And for the Asian user base, a lot of the traders like to use the USDT settled linear contracts, which is actually quite different than what our European clients are, mostly of them are trading on the inverse contract. So it was more for a, diversification for our different products globally. But what interesting is that, it's also another reason we launched it because of security. Because our current inverse contract is settled in the native token. So if we want to launch any other pairs, meaning that Bybit would have to hold those tokens or those coins, such as Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and all that. And a lot of these coins doesn't really fit our security measurements or requirements because they don't have a cold wallet storage or this type of setup. So we were trying to find a way we can offer a lot more pairs, but without holding them. So you can either do a Quanto, which is a BTC settled pairs, with all the coins, or you can do a linear. So after some feedback and going back and forth with our clients, our product team, we decided to launch the linear contract. With that, we can offer much more pairs with USDT settled. So we're prepared to offer a few more pairs in Q3. We're looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, even Chainlink, and a few more pairs. So this is the general logic on why we sort of launched the linear contract and why we waited for this long to launch more pairs. Yeah.
So my next question here is, later this month, I heard like Bybit will be hosting the world's largest crypto trading competition, right? So the World Series of Trading, WSOT in short. So what are some findings and insights you have gained in leading up to the tournament?
Instead of saying finding, I would say why we decided to launch WSOT. Yeah. Bybit is actually, we were the first sort of exchange to offer a global competition. Since last year, our BTC Brawl, we had 8,000 people globally participating. And then we have been organizing different regional campaigns, the regional competitions like Japan, like Korea, like, our Twitter competition and all of that. And our clients turns out to be really liking it. And also they love the format of a sort of a team competition. And this is why we want to make this a sort of IP that, biannual.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Tracy.
Thanks for attending.
Or any market crashes, Bybit doesn't crash. So I guess that sort of give our users a lot of trust, and they will recommend Bybit to their friends or, to their communities as well. So I guess that helped a lot on our growth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So Ben, as we all know, majority of the industry people know, like, you hailed from the foreign exchange industry before founding Bybit, right? So how has your professional experience in the traditional finance sector informed the work at Bybit? Could you elaborate more to us?
I was lucky that was lucky in two ways. One way is that when we established Bybit, they were already, the wheel's already made, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
So we could look at the existing exchange at the time was OKEX and BitMEX. We can examine their uniqueness. We can examine their their great parts for their product, and we can also examine what's lacking, so we can actually prepare our product. So in a way, it's like how I would usually describe that, how the Japanese took the car and made it even better in a way, but that's lucky for us because we were the latecomer. I was also very lucky. On the other hand, is I've been running an exchange for more than 8 years before Bybit. So I was running a retail forex exchange, also very focused in retail. I was managing the whole business. So I guess that gave me a very good experience on how to run an exchange, take care of the customer support, how to listen to our customers, how to get feedbacks, and how to build the product to clients' liking. So I guess combined with the other factor, that gave us a very unique start. And I was lucky to have that. And in comparison, I mean, crypto is obviously quite young and not as mature as the traditional market. There are many things I want to do. So I've been trying to improve Bybit and keep pushing out new updates so that we can raise the bar or the standard in crypto in terms of trading to make it more reliable, more user-friendly, and also from a risk management perspective, you want to make sure the exchange is always running smoothly. No scam wicks, stable, and all that. So I guess this is one main thing that I carried from what my previous experience tell me, is to be much more prudent, focus on the product, and focus on the clients. Yeah.
Great. The experience in traditional finance really helps a lot. I mean, the logic is basically the same, right? It's just you deal with different products, we can say. One is like fiat, or here is crypto, right? So just differences.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, my last but not least question for you here is that we all know we talk about the CBDC a lot, which is central bank digital currency, right? I think you also heard a lot about China DCEP, right? The cryptocurrency. And how do you see the trends of CBDC and private cryptocurrencies play out? And how do you think this development will shape up the future of money or impact daily life? I'm really curious to have your voice, and I really wondering what you say about this.
Yeah. A lot of people have been asking me about the DCEP, the Chinese national currency. To be honest, I tell them I know nothing. And from the people I talk to, nobody knows anything. So even the people in the industry, people just like, no clue what's going on. So, it's definitely a good positive movement that's showing that different, governments or central banks are moving to a direction into crypto. And I think this whole COVID, it really helped it to, at least for myself, it was really a top up on my strong belief on the mass adoption of blockchain or cryptocurrency. Is that you start to see that different banks are just printing out money like crazy. So before they were trying to be more, secretive about it, but now they just bluntly printing money, just make it rain, print it,
Exactly.
So, and when you do that, the money normally gets rejected into the capital markets, and then you start to see that the social class or the working class are really getting screwed on that. So you start to see a big more division in the social inequality and all that, because only certain elites of the community or of the society are getting benefit from this, getting bailed out basically. But it's because it can be printed freely. So what I see is that with crypto, at least there's no central government or no agent or controlling it. So whether you are a miner or exchange or you're just someone who hold the coin, if the coin value appreciates, you get benefit. You don't get left out. So this whole idea of community is very deep rooted in blockchain and crypto. And that's why I think as time goes on, people will realize that crypto is the one to solve a lot of the problems. So I think the revolution on capital is coming, and the only way to do it is with cryptocurrency. So I think it's definitely a movement, and I think the banks realize it, so they cannot kill it, so they'll just have to dance with it. This is my interpretation with it, so.
Great, interesting. But I also have, I want to add one more question. After this talk with you, I really feel like you personally very interesting, and also what Bybit is doing is very interesting. So talk to the audience 2 points. So just share with us 2 things, like what Bybit is going to achieve in a very near future. 2 big things, your big plan.
2 big things. Number 1 is we're going to take over the world and become the number 1. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Awesome. Okay.
No. 2 big things. Okay. As far as for product, we are building our expiration contract so that the quarterly, the next quarterly contract that's coming up. And secondly, we're actually spending a lot of time looking into option. We know that the option market has been picking up this year very fast.
Yeah.
And we want to spend some energy and also some innovation into it. And hopefully we will present a product that's much more user-friendly than what the current option product looks like. And it'll be good for a lot of even retail to trade it, but still has all the option concept or all the metrics built in. So it's a proper option product. So this is something we look very much forward to. And yeah, I mean the WSOT is starting in a few days. So
yeah.
Right now I think it's already 8,000 people. We're hoping we can reach 10,000. So very excited for that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ben, for sharing with us your ideas, and looking forward to hearing more voices of Bybit and yourself. Okay. Good luck.
Okay.
And
thank you.
talk to
Thank you,
soon.
Tracy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Justin Sun. Welcome to Great Bay Area International Blockchain Week with Cointelegraph China. For those of you who are not familiar with Justin Sun, he's the founder of cryptocurrency platform Tron, and he's also currently the CEO of BitTorrent. So Justin, why don't we start with talking about DeFi, one of those biggest trends in crypto space these days. And we have also noticed that Tron has recently launched 3 products that related to DeFi space. And why is it important for you to tap into this field? And what is your vision, and what are some of the challenges that you think are ahead for the DeFi space?
I definitely believe DeFi is one of the most important trends in our industry. The reason is very simple. So DeFi basically proved to us we can have a decentralized way of doing like all the finance behavior or the finance product. For example, you can do decentralized lending, you can get a stable coin. The same time, also you can do yield farming by a decentralized way. That's, I think, is the most important things because you interactive with smart contracts and there is no central authorities control all the process. Instead of today, if you want to get lending, right, you need to get a broker like evaluate the assets for you, and also at the same time you need to deal with a third party to get money, right? And then when you pay back your loans, you if anybody doing like mortgage, right, you will know like the process is very painful actually to know like everything, and also get even all the documented documents validated is take a lot of time. But all in the DeFi, it takes only in the 15 minutes, right? Everything happens and 24/7. So that's why I believe this kind of the concept is very interesting. And also, at the same time, I think this is one of the best chance for Tron. Because you can see these days, DeFi is very popular on Ethereum, but the biggest obstacle for Ethereum is the fee of the transactions and also the speed of the transactions. Recently, it takes you even more than $100. I try the product always. Sometimes it's even like half Ethereum. Today is like even like $150 to make a transaction, and it takes a very long time to process all the transactions in the smart contract, in Ethereum for all the DeFi project. So that's why I believe since Tron offer like instant and free, almost free transactions, it's definitely gonna be for the next wave of the DeFi, because a lot of the DeFi projects built on Ethereum, they will realize that Ethereum just can't scale. If they want to offer their customer a better services and with a very cheap price, they need to move to Tron. So that's why we encourage lots of the developers on Tron to develop DeFi project. I think we got lots of the progress. We support Just Network. They launch basically MakerDAO on Tron, so you can put TRX collateral and get stablecoin. And also we will introduce Just Swap. It's a decentralized exchange on Tron network. And also we will introduce Just Lend. So basically you can just lending anything you can and get interest and also yield farming.
Earlier this year, the charity launch with Warren Buffett finally happened. And how was it? We know that he's not the biggest fan of cryptocurrency. Did somehow that meeting with him change his mindset? And he looks at crypto differently now these days.
First of all, I think I'm a huge believer in bridging the cryptocurrency with the traditional investor. I believe this is like one of the most important things we need to do in order to get mass adoption of crypto. Definitely, as we know, like Warren Buffett has a good reputation on traditional investor. That's why I believe always dialogue between the cryptocurrency leaders and Warren Buffett is extremely important. That's the reason why I want to win this auction of Warren Buffett launch in the first place. And I think earlier this year, the dialogue between Warren Buffett and also I invite lots of the guests like the leaders from Huobi, Binance, eToro, and the founder of Litecoin to the launch. I think itself is very successful. I think everybody have a very productive meeting, and I think the best part is we educated Warren Buffett a lot about how crypto works, why it is important, because I think lots of the things Warren Buffett learned about crypto is more from news media. So that's why he always see a lot of hype, like a Bitcoin price is grow like dramatically, without like any application, right? So this kind of the news buzz. But I think after we have a very productive meeting with him, I think he definitely know more about crypto. That's why I think in the meeting he recognized the value of blockchain as a technology. Lots of his portfolio companies like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Visa, like all the very big giant financial institutions has expressed their interest in developing product in blockchain, right? Recently, we see Visa also collaborate with Coinbase, try to bring like more people into the crypto world. So that's why I definitely feel this meeting is very successful. And I think after this meeting, a lot of the traditional investor even reach out to me to express their interest in invest into the crypto product. So that's why I believe this is a huge success. And going forward, I think still the most important thing is to make sure like everybody outside of the crypto world will understand cryptocurrency is just another kind of the assets. It's just like gold. It's just like other like stock, like everything we have been trading all the time, right? Because like even stock markets when they first emerged in like early 90s, it is also early 20th centuries is also like a very new concept, right? Everybody take a very long time to learn, and also as internet when they first emerged in 1990s is also a very new things people needs to learn about. But the more they learn about, the more they will realize this is just like a very simple product. You can easy to use. Recently, we also see a lot of the people start to invest into the crypto. Bitcoin price is consolidate above $10,000. I think definitely this give lots of confidence to the traditional investor. So I definitely think 2020 and 2021 will be a big year for crypto.
As we know, BitTorrent is the first invention for peer-to-peer transaction of data and files. It has brought tremendous convenience for us to transfer data and sharing data. However, it has also opened the Pandora's box where online security and privacy has become a major concern. What are your comments for that, and how would you think blockchain or cryptocurrency can address those concerns?
So everyone know actually on one side is bring like a tremendous benefits to everyone in the world to enjoy this fast way to transfer the files and also distributed the files around the globe. And also at the same time, it did open some like privacy issues as Bitcoin also sometimes face some kind of the money laundering problem. But first of all, I believe both for the BitTorrent and the Bitcoin, we need to realize actually the benefits is much more than the disadvantage they bring to the industry. It's just like internet. Sometimes internet also have some problem, right? For recently, the Twitter hack also bring the problem of the cybersecurities to everybody's attention. But I still believe, for example, like not only individuals use BitTorrent as a way to transfer the files, even Facebook, Google, Amazon, or U.S. government use this way to transfer their files around the globe. Bitcoin is the same. Is one of the best finance product or decentralized finance product in our centuries. And also at the same time, I think we are happy to collaborate with law enforcement and regulators to try to eliminate as many as possible about all the negative impact the technology have. I think for the BitTorrent, we are doing lots of the way to encourage people to upload files around the globe to guarantee the decentralization. And also we encourage the people only use in a legitimacy way. And also just like Bitcoin, there's lots of the company as for example like chain analysis. They help the law enforcement and the regulators to analyze all the address in the Bitcoin ecosystem to help to mitigate those negative impact. So that's why I think as long as we keep like open mind and also at the same time further developed the technology, we can definitely always bring the benefits and the advantage of the technology to the mass, and also at the same time mitigate, even eliminate all the negative impact.
After acquiring BitTorrent and DLive, you have also invested in PNet, one of the oldest crypto exchanges in the world. So I wonder, what is your principle or fundamental basics when it comes to investing or choosing projects to invest?
Yes. First of all, I think when we make investment in our industry, or even sometimes it's acquisition, first of all, I think we always want to help to improve the user experience and also the network effects of the decentralized network. So you can see we acquire before we acquire BitTorrent, because this is the one of the well-known decentralized technology in the whole industry. And also, of course, for Poloniex, we invest into Poloniex. It's very simple. It's because Poloniex is one of the well-known brand in the crypto space, and this has been like the first exchange for lots of the well-known cryptocurrency. For example, Poloniex is the first cryptocurrency trading platform for Ethereum, for Monero and Zcash and ETC as well. So we can see today's lots of the good cryptocurrency. Poloniex is their home base. So that's why we always want to support Poloniex to grow this user base and provide the best user experience and the infrastructure support for the crypto project in our space.
My question regarding to the enterprise blockchain and the privacy issue, what are some of the small businesses that you could review that are looking for protecting users' privacy and their own privacy in this regard to adopt the Tron 4.0?
Yeah. First of all, I think we already collaborate with some of the securities companies around the globe to develop the financial solution for them in the blockchain. I definitely believe there's lots of the, as you see, like IBM introducing Hyperledger very early, around 2016, and lots of the business trying to build their blockchain on top of the Hyperledger. I think in the future there is a two direction. It's very interesting. First of all is the customized blockchain for the small business and the financial institution. They need the blockchain to improve the efficiency of their network. And then the second direction is the intercommunication with all the blockchain. So we need to find a way to make different blockchain can communicate with each other, and even define this kind of the customized blockchain to communicate with public blockchain like Ethereum and Tron network. So I think that's like the two way of the enterprise blockchain solution we are currently working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are most of your community based geographically? when you're talking about target passing 5 billion.
Yes.
Is there any statistics to show us where your community are mostly based? Is it mostly in China or overseas?
Yes. I believe USDT Tron network is a very competitive product in our industry. Not only in Asia, we have seen a huge amount of the demand from Asia, but also I think in Europe and also Russian and even United States and Latin American as well. I believe it's because Tron offer the instant and fast transaction, and also the transaction is almost free in the Tron network. And also we already know USDT is one of the most liquidated stablecoin in our industry in terms of the exchange. But also we have seen some of the small business and big enterprise has adopted USDT as a way to pay their employee salary and also even pay their vendors. For example, PointHub this year has announced to use USDT on Tron to pay their models. So that's why I believe USDT TRC20 has seen some of the user case even outside of the cryptocurrency industry. So that's why I think we are super bullish about the growth of USDT Tron network.
And my last question is regarding the governance. Yeah. When you said Tron is also community governance based project, and you have all this ambition of growing more and more community members, but experts in the blockchain space, and especially law enforcement or lawyers, they argue that in the blockchain crypto space, even though there are governance, but it's very decentralized, and any open source change of writing a code can make in a hard fork in a token, for instance, Ethereum.
Yes.
And they argue that there needs to be a very clear governance in order to move the blockchain industry forward. And how would you see that clear governance, and what are the designs that you're thinking of for your own community, and making sure that not only is decentralized, but also it allows a certain of framework and regulation and all that?
First of all, I think the open source is the most important thing in our industry, because open source guarantee the transparency and also guarantee like everybody can alter the software and bring their proposals into the network. So let me give like a very quick introduction about today's Tron governance structure. So every programmers, they can read the code and documentation on the Tron network. All the Tron software is open source, and everybody can alter or fork the software. And also they can bring the improvement proposal to the SR community as a TIP. Is called Tron Improvement Proposal. So they can make the alteration of the software, and all the this kind of the proposal will be submitted to the Tron SR community, which is elected by 26 billion TRX users. They selected this 27 super representative, which will decide it on which TIP they will pass or not. So that's like a way we want to guarantee the transparency and decentralization of the network. And also at the same time, we want to be regulated compliant and be very friendly to the regulators. That's why we make the software is like a tool set. So different developers, when they build on the different kind of the product, they can, we basically, most of the time for the tool set, we offer 2 ways to develop their software. For example, like Tron Z, we make this like an option. So if you want to be compliant with the regulators, you can disable the feature. And also, if you want to ensure the user enjoy the benefits of the privacy, you can enable it. So basically, we make this like available to the everyone. They can make a very transparency choices about their product. So that's why that's how we can on one hand guarantee the decentralization and the community governance, and on the other hand make our developers and our blockchain compliant with all the regulators around the globe.
So thank you, Justin, for sharing your thoughts and your comments with us, and we're looking forward to have you again next time, and thank you.
Hey, Steve, thanks for staying with us. This is Tracy from Cointelegraph China. And before our interview, please do a short intro of yourself.
Okay, good. Hi, Tracy. Hi, everyone. My name is Steve. I'm global CEO of OurMine. So OurMine is a decentralized leading computing asset and trading platform. So to be simple, it's a computing power marketplace. Before my mining career, I was in the internet industry, like online learning and cross-border e-commerce. Then I start up with OurMine since 2017, before Bitcoin price rocket up. Therefore, I have been through a full cycle of this mining industry, and I successfully survived.
That's awesome. Okay, let's go to our question list. So we've collected a few questions from our community and really want to have your answers. So my first question is, the path of new infrastructure construction age will bring a blockchain with a market that was thousands billion yuan. Could you tell us about what is the opportunity for a mining industry?
Okay, so actually the answer is in your question already. The new infrastructure is actually the opportunity as well as the key to digitalization. The new infrastructure will include new technology like blockchain and computing power will be the new productivity. Along with connectivity, both are the core of the new support. One can connect between internet and platform, and the other include hash rate and algorithm. So the keyword, okay, of the mining is hash rate, or you can call it computing power. The computing power itself is already a quality asset. Since the 5G, big data, and cloud computing has been the new, has been grow rapidly. The demand of computing power is increasing more and more. Thus, the new infrastructure with new computing power will lead to a revolution. Okay, since the computing industry plays like an engine to boost the development, it is still a blue ocean market. Okay, so that has a tremendous opportunities to cope with various competitions. It still have a lot of opportunity going on. Therefore, either individual or business can play their part according to their strengths, either on capital or on skill, on supply chain, resource or marketing. Play your best. Everyone should find a track let fit themselves to play the game. Just like NBA player will not play in a baseball in Major League, or a Major League player don't play in NBA as well. So they each have different strengths and training in a different way. Anyway, I believe the opportunity is the computing power.
Okay, thank you very much. So my next question, as you just mentioned about cloud computing. So like we all know, cloud computing is a new fashion. And what are the advantages for decentralized cloud computing? And what are the layouts for RMI within the decentralized cloud computing? I would like to have your voice.
Okay, sure. As you mentioned about cloud computing, there are many demands now for this new supercomputing power, such as cryptos, AI, inclusive financing, GA, privacy computing, and IPFS. Okay? Nevertheless, the current cloud computing companies like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are unable to cater for the new requirements, because from the technical perspective, distributed computing market plays a good game already. It's the best time to start our new infrastructure. In 3 years' time, the 70% of big data and those complicated computing things will be processed by decentralized cloud computing, like IPFS. So decentralized cloud computing is heading to a new generation in our digital economy. However, RMine is a decentralized computing power asset management and trading platform. Although we mainly focus on computing power, we still play with a team as well, okay? Not alone by ourselves. We partner with Zen Metrics, who built a Web 3.0 infrastructure to offer a decentralized computing service in the ecosystem. So by this infrastructure, we offer various affordable computing power like Bitcoin, Filecoin, AI, and edge computing, as well as those derivative solutions like account management, DApp, SaaS, PaaS, and trading. We're also developing IPFS and AI robot DApp as well, because we're always trying to achieve that affordable, reliable, and credible platform for everyone to join the game in the future.
Okay, thank you very much. So my next question is about DeFi. As we all know, DeFi is definitely the hottest topic this year, and it also regarded as a next wealth code. So what do you think of DeFi mining? Because as we know, DeFi mining is also a big sector in this industry and bringing the liquidity for cryptos. So what's your voice for this?
To be honest, okay, frankly speaking, I didn't research on the DeFi a lot because it's more about financial, okay? But of course, I know what is it. Compared to CeFi, DeFi has less processment, and you don't need much time to approve by the bank or somebody. It's actually everything can done in the seconds. So I think it's pretty interesting to do it. But I don't really call it mining. It's more like a financial product, but it's just decentralized. Okay, so I can't give too much suggestion because I focus on the mining more. So, but it still has some opportunity as well as the threat. Okay, so it is the risk there. So anyone want to play must evaluate their risk as well.
Cool. Sounds cool. So my next question is about the Filecoin. Filecoin is one of the most popular mining projects at the present. And could you please explain why everybody is so crazy about it? And what are your new products for Filecoin mining as RMI itself? Thank you.
Oh, okay, sure. Why Filecoin is so popular? You must understand their basic first, which is IPFS. The vision of IPFS is to make the web faster, safer, and more open. So IPFS uses Web 3.0 technology that might replace HTTP. the data structure are totally different. HTTP was location addressing. So you can link my photo on the Tom Cruise website, okay? But IPFS is content addressing. Steve is Steve. Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. You don't mix up together. You can't play any trick or fraud. So the decentralized ecosystem is improving to challenge centralized ecosystems such as Amazon, AWS, Amazon's AWS and Aliyun. And IPFS is the basic app for this big data. And that's why we think Filecoin is so essential, because Filecoin offer incentives like motivate the peers to share the storage to achieve decentralized storage. This concept is very similar to Uber, okay, or Airbnb. It's a sharing economy. The file can be securely download and upload in IPFS. So when we accessing a file, it's a very basic function among all data, algorithm, or the digital economy. But in another word, anything that relates to accessing a file can use Filecoin. Okay, you can save, you can edit. This is the most basic but critical function. There are more developers who build the apps in IPFS already. This is why it is a blue ocean in the new infrastructure. So talk about Armine. So Armine is definitely be a player in IPFS. In fact, we start planning this 1 year ago already. If you are all our miners, like our customers, actually from 1 year ago, they already saw IPFS banner in our app or website. But why didn't we start 1 year ago? As we always are, we plan the risk first. So we don't want to put all our customer and ourselves in the risk. We think it's not a good time in last year. We think the time before mainnet launch is the best timing. So we start in mid-June. We start offering our cloud mining, Filecoin cloud mining plan to all our customers. Yeah, that's what we always do, because you must know IPFS is more internet features. It's different from the Bitcoin. It provides a low-cost security, privacy, and immutable compared to Web 2.0 product. It also owns a blockchain of sharing economy model, just like what I say. It's very close, very similar to Uber and Airbnb. Therefore, we run it like an internet project, not blockchain. So different from our Bitcoin mining. We don't just buy thousands and thousands of mining rigs and put it there and let it run. We have to, in the Filecoin, we have to buy a lot of servers, and we need a very reliable, stable, and fast broadband. Also, a very reliable and credible internet data center to keep 24 hours running time and the no downtime guarantee is very important on the Filecoin. That's why we can offer a very affordable plan to all our users. And even before you start mining, like before the mainnet launches, we also offer like incentives to our customers as well. Before you get your Filecoin, you can actually start mining your Bitcoin already. This is very unique in the market. So back to the topic. So we already optimized software and hardware in a very good condition to squeeze out most efficient power to mine the Filecoin. Okay. Play the Filecoin is like play a basketball team. Every player has its position. So every server, the miner, the worker, all have their function. Okay. So the key is still the cloud. We use this cloud system to minimize the risk, to share the risk among ourselves and the customer. So you don't have to put a lot of capital in to start mining Filecoin or Bitcoin. We optimize the system. Yeah, that's what we always do. So we share the risk between you and ourselves. So our miners always get the highest return but lowest risk.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Steve. So my last question before we end this interview. So I want to ask, can you give us the short words? So what RMI wants to achieve in the near future? Just to put it in short.
Okay. Decentralized hash rate marketplace offer you credible, reliable, affordable computing power. Welcome to the future of digital world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you.